13 years after redefining cinematic storytelling, James Cameron returned us to Pandora with a simple but powerful question. Could the magic happen again? This is the story of Avatar. The Way of Water, not just a sequel, but a continuation of legacy, family, and survival. The journey begins a decade after the human forces were defeated, a time of unprecedented peace for the Omaticaya clan. Jake Sully, the former Marine, has fully embraced his Na'vi life. He is no longer just a warrior. He is Tariq Makto, the clan leader, and most importantly, a father. With Neytiri, he has built a family, a new generation to carry on their legacy. There's Neytiri, the eldest son, burdened by the weight of responsibility, always striving to follow in his father's footsteps. Then there's Loak, the rebellious second son, his heart full of courage, but his actions impulsive, constantly feeling like an outcast in his own family. And Piri, a truly mysterious child, miraculously born from Grace Augustine's dormant avatar, sharing a deep, almost spiritual connection with Awa that no one fully understands. Tuktari, or Tuk, is the youngest, a bundle of fearless curiosity, her eyes wide with the wonders of Pandora. Finally, there's Spider, a human boy left behind on Pandora, unable to breathe its air without a mask, but raised as one of the Sullys, his loyalty torn between two worlds. Life in the Hallelujah Mountains is idyllic. The family soars through the floating mountains on their Ikrin. They hunt in the dense bioluminescent forests, and Jake teaches his children the ways of the Na'vi, instilling in them the values of their people. He often shares stories of the Sky People and the Great War, a constant reminder that their hard-won peace is a fragile gift, one that must be protected at all costs. The family is their fortress, a bond that seems unbreakable. But this tranquil existence is about to be shattered. One day, a new star appears in the sky, a terrifyingly familiar sight. It grows larger, brighter, and soon, the heavens are torn open by massive interstellar ships. Engines screaming as they descend. This time they don't just land, they incinerate. Entire swaths of the forest are turned to ash in an instant. The arrival is an act of war, a declaration that humanity is back, and with a far more terrifying objective. They no longer seek just the precious metal unobtainium. Earth is dying, and their new goal is to colonize Pandora itself, making it a new home for humanity, no matter the cost to its native inhabitants. A massive city-like base, Bridgehead, is established, a scar of metal and industry carved into the vibrant landscape. But the true danger isn't the fleet or the army. It's a ghost from Jake's past, a specter of vengeance given new form. Colonel Quaritch is back. Although he was killed in the final battle 13 years ago, his consciousness was backed up, and now it has been implanted into a Na'vi Avatar recombinant. He is bigger, stronger, and faster than he ever was as a human, possessing all the skills of a Na'vi warrior but none of their spirit. He remembers everything, his defeat, his hatred for the Na'vi, and most vividly, his burning vendetta against the man who betrayed him, Jake Sully. Revenge is his only mission. Quaritch isn't alone. He leads a squad of elite recombinants, the consciousnesses of his fallen soldiers also reborn into Na'vi bodies. They are a deadly fusion of human military tactics and Na'vi physical prowess, a walking nightmare designed for one purpose: to hunt and eliminate the leader of the Na'vi insurgency, Jake Sully. The hunt begins immediately. Quaritch and his team, armed with human weaponry and knowledge of Pandora's terrain, track the Sully family relentlessly. The forests that were once a sanctuary now become a battlefield. Skirmishes erupt, turning family outings into desperate fights for survival. Jake, drawing on his military background, trains his children to be warriors. Neytiri excels, a disciplined soldier in the making. But Loak's impulsiveness creates constant friction. He chafes under his father's strict command, desperate to prove himself but often putting himself and his siblings in grave danger. During one raid, Loak's reckless actions lead to a near-fatal encounter with Quaritch's squad. The children barely escape with their lives, and the incident exposes a terrifying truth to Jake. As long as he remains the leader of the Omaticaya, he is a magnet for conflict. His presence puts not just his family but his entire clan in the crosshairs. Quaritch will never stop hunting him, and he will burn down the entire forest to find him. This realization forces Jake to confront the most difficult decision of his life. He is a warrior, a leader. His instinct is to stand and fight, to rally his people and defend their home as he did before. Neytiri, a true daughter of the Omaticaya, feels this in her soul. To run is an unthinkable act of cowardice in her eyes. But Jake is also a father, and that duty now eclipses all others. He looks at his children and sees the fear in their eyes, the constant danger they face because of who he is. He understands that to stay and fight would be an act of pride, one that would inevitably cost him the lives of those he loves most. With a heavy heart, Jake makes a father's choice. He decides they must leave. They will go into exile, disappearing from the forests to draw Quaritch's fire away from the Omaticaya people. It is a heart-wrenching farewell. They say goodbye to their clan, to their home in the sky, to the spirits of their ancestors, and to the only life they have ever known. This is not an act of surrender. It is an act of protection, a strategic retreat born from a father's desperate love. They are choosing survival over pride, family over territory. Jake Sully believed that distance would keep his family safe, that by vanishing, he could sever the thread of vengeance that connected him to Quaritch. But Pandora is a vast and interconnected world, and danger has a way of following. The Sully family will journey far from their forest home, seeking refuge in a new world ruled not by trees and mountains, but by the endless, mysterious, and powerful sea. To survive, the Sully family must become something new. They had mastered the forest, learned its rhythms, and found a home among the trees. But the Sky People, the humans, had returned, bringing with them a shadow of the past. A relentless hunter named Quaritch, now reborn in an avatar body. Forced to flee, Jake Sully makes a heart-wrenching decision. To protect the Omaticaya clan, his family must leave. Their journey leads them to the vast, shimmering oceans of Pandora, to the reef territories of the Mekaina clan. But the ocean does not welcome outsiders easily. The Sully family arrives at the village of Awatlu, a world of turquoise water and vibrant coral. They are greeted by Tonaweri, the stoic leader of the Mekaina, and his wife Ranal, the clan's spiritual guide. The reception is wary, filled with suspicion. The Sullys are forest people, their bodies built for climbing trees, not for gliding through water. Their tails are thin, their arms slender. They are different. The Mekaina see them as weak, unsuited for the powerful currents and deep waters that define their existence. Jake pleads for sanctuary, for a place to hide his family from the war he brought with him. Reluctantly, Tonaweri agrees, granting them refuge but making it clear they must earn their place. They must learn the way of water. This new life is a struggle. The Sully children Netium, Lok, Kiri, and Tuk are mocked for their differences. They can't hold their breath long enough, their swimming is clumsy, and their connection to the sea is non-existent. For Loak, Jake's rebellious second son, it's a familiar feeling. He was an outsider in the forest, and now he's an outsider in the ocean, desperate to prove his worth to a father who seems to only see his failures. While her brothers grapple with fitting in, Kiri, Grace Augustine's miraculous daughter, feels something else entirely. She feels a deep, almost overwhelming connection to the ocean, a strange spiritual hum that calls to her from the depths. It's a feeling she can't explain, a bond with Ewa that is both beautiful and terrifying. Slowly, painfully, the family begins to adapt. Guided by Saireya, Tonaweri's kind daughter, they learn to control their breathing, to move with the currents, to become one with the ocean. As they are taught, the way of water has no beginning and no end. The sea is around you and in you. They are changing, becoming people of the reef. It's during this time that Lok, feeling isolated and misunderstood, has an encounter that will change everything. He meets Payakan, a young Tulkan. These are not mere animals. The Tulkan are a highly intelligent, sentient species of whale-like creatures, considered spirit brothers and sisters by the Mekaina. They share a deep history, a culture of songs, philosophy, and memory. But Payakan is an outcast, branded a killer and exiled from his pod. Loak, seeing a kindred spirit in the lonely creature, forms a powerful bond with him. Through their silent communication, Loak learns Payakan's tragic story, a story of loss and a desperate fight against human hunters. This bond reveals a horrifying truth. Humans are hunting the Tulkan, not for food or territory, but for a priceless substance called amrita, a golden fluid found in their brains that completely halts human aging. The Sky People are not just colonizing Pandora. They are harvesting it, draining its very soul for their own selfish desires. The war against the Navy was just the beginning. Now, the war is against Pandora itself. And that war is drawing closer. Miles Quaritch, resurrected and driven by a singular obsession for revenge against Jake Sully, is tracking his every move. With his squad of Avatar recombinants, he has captured Spider, Jake's adopted human son who was left behind on Pandora. Using Spider as a guide and translator, Quaritch begins to learn the ways of the Na'vi, not to connect, but to conquer. He interrogates his prisoner, twisting their shared history into a weapon. Quaritch and his team cut a path of destruction across the ocean, torturing wildlife and burning villages, leaving a trail of fear as they hunt for Jake. The shadows of the past have found the Sully's new home, and the tranquil waters of the reef are about to be stained with blood. The water taught them how to breathe, but it could not shield them from war. Survival will demand sacrifice, and the final battle for family, for home, and for the soul of Pandora is about to begin. When war reaches the sea, even the deepest waters cannot hide the truth. This isn't just a movie recap. It's an exploration of the themes of family, sacrifice, and the unbreakable spirit of the Na'vi. The final act of this film is a masterclass in action and emotion, so let's get right into it. The hunt begins. We see human whaling ships, these monstrous steel beasts, tearing through the sacred waters of the Mekaina clan. Their target is the Tolkien, the intelligent, spiritual brethren of the Sea Na'vi. Payakan, the outcast Tolkien, refuses to be a victim. He launches a ferocious counterattack, a desperate act of defiance against the invaders. The battle is brutal. Harpoons fly and the once pristine ocean turns a haunting shade of red. The Mekaina, witnessing this sacrilege, are filled with a righteous fury. They want war. Jake Sully, ever the protector, tries to de-escalate. He knows the cost of fighting the Sky People all too well. He argues for caution, for a strategic retreat. But it's too late. The line has been crossed, and the drums of war are beating, echoing across the waves. The conflict he tried so hard to outrun has finally found him and his family. Just as the chaos on the surface reaches its peak, the situation becomes even more dire. Colonel Quaritch, now in his own avatar body, executes a calculated and cruel move. He captures Jake's children. Loak, Took, and their human friend Spider are taken hostage, used as bait to draw Jake into a trap. What follows is one of the most intense and visually stunning rescue sequences in modern cinema. Jake and Neytiri, alongside the Mekaina warriors, launch a desperate assault on Quaritch's vessel. We see a dizzying ballet of underwater combat. Sleek submarines, the crab suits, clash with the agile skim wings of the Na'vi. Explosions rock the sea, sending shockwaves through the water and lighting up the depths with fire. It's a surreal and terrifying battlefield where the rules of gravity don't apply. In the heart of this pandemonium, something incredible happens. Kiri, Jake's adopted daughter, is trapped. Under immense pressure, she taps into a mysterious and powerful force. Her eyes glow, and she commands the flora and fauna of the sea to attack her captors. It's a breathtaking display of power, a direct connection to Awa, the life force of Pandora itself, proving she is far more special than anyone ever imagined. Amid the desperate escape, tragedy strikes. The Sully family is fighting their way to freedom, but the cost of this war is about to become devastatingly clear. Neytiri, Jake and Neytiri's eldest son, the responsible and brave warrior, is hit. He's gravely wounded. The frantic energy of the battle screeches to a halt as Jake pulls his son from the water. He holds him, desperately trying to stop the bleeding, but the damage is done. In his father's arms, Neytiri's strength fades. His final words are a heartbreaking echo of his father's own lessons. "Dad, I want to go home." He passes out and the life leaves his body. In that single, shattering moment, everything changes for Jake Sully. He holds his son, and the weight of his loss crushes him. The realization is absolute and final. Running will never save them. Hiding will never protect his family. The only way to end this is to fight. The grief of a father becomes the resolve of a warrior. The loss of her firstborn son transforms Neytiri. Her sorrow instantly crystallizes into pure, undiluted fury. She becomes a specter of vengeance, an unstoppable force of nature. The warrior we saw in the first film is back, but this time her rage is personal and terrifyingly focused. She moves through the sinking ship like a phantom, her bowstring singing a song of death. Her target is Quaritch. The confrontation is not a battle. It's an execution. She dismantles his soldiers with brutal efficiency, her movements fluid and deadly. She finally corners him, and there is no doubt in her eyes. She will end him. But in a shocking twist, Spider, Quaritch's human son who was raised among the Na'vi, intervenes. He sees Quaritch drowning, and despite everything the man has done, he can't let his biological father pass out. He pulls him from the water, saving the very man who brought so much destruction to his adopted family. Quaritch is defeated and forced to retreat, but thanks to Spider, he lives to fight another day. In the quiet aftermath, the true weight of the day's events settles upon the Sully family and the Neytiri clan. They hold a solemn ceremony for Neytiri. He is laid to rest in the sacred cove of the ancestors, returned to the sea, to Ewa. It's a beautiful and heart-wrenching scene, a reminder of the deep spiritual connection the Na'vi have with their world. Through this shared grief and shared battle, the bond between the Sully family and the Neytiri is solidified. Tanaweri, the clan leader, declares that they are no longer visitors. They are one of the people. Jake accepts this with a heavy heart but a renewed purpose. Looking out at the vast ocean, he makes a vow. This is their home now. This is their fortress. There will be no more running. He will stand, and he will fight for it. The way of water teaches us that all things are connected: life, loss, and renewal. The war for Pandora is far from over. But the people of the sea are ready. What did you think of this incredible final act? Let me know your favorite moments in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.